it ended up, I think, being true.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it became
and she
like
was poisoning him.
she was giving him high levels of certain things in his food. And a lot of us are in friendship groups we shouldn't be in. A lot of us are in marriages we shouldn't be in. A lot of us are in family situations that are toxic, but we brave it all in the name of, but that's not healthy. That's making you sick. There has been a rise in the diagnosis of chronic health conditions in Black women that I'm seeing in my practice, my colleagues are seeing, and even now, like, research is showing. I'm a bouncing baby girl now. I don't feel good. Like, life can't get any worse than this. Sorry.
You are beautiful. You are powerful. You are worthy. Your crown is your glory.
Hey, beautiful. Welcome back to the Kia Convos podcast. I'm your host, Kay Amwa, and this is the space for all things wellness, self-care, and empowerment. Today, I am super excited. Very, very, very I think this is going to be such a good episode. I'm so happy to introduce the absolutely stunning Dr. Ya. Put some respect on it.
Yes, per.
Hi, thank you so much for coming down today. I know you had a long journey.
Yes, 2 hours.
2 hours. Sorry, but thank you.
Okay. Had to do it for the girls.
Yes.
And the guys.
Definitely. I'm so excited to speak to you today. I've been looking forward to this episode, honestly. But yeah, so I usually like to kick off just by asking you to introduce yourself and let us know a bit about who Dr. Ya is.
Okay. Well, thank you for having me on the podcast. I'm so excited. Like, as soon as I put it in my diary, I was like, oh, I can't wait till it comes. So I'm grateful to be here, and thank you for allowing me on your platform. So hi, everyone. My name is Dr. Ya. I am a doctor, as per the name, Dr. Ya. I'm a doctor, GP in training. I'm also a wellness and PCOS coach. I'm a health advocate as well as a medfluencer. That's the name we give to like medics that do content creation. But I also create content, just sharing ways in which individuals can live basically healthier and happier life.
Yeah.
I'm very big on the mantra that prevention is better than cure. So I'm doing what I can to educate people in order to prevent disease, because preventing disease is a lot cheaper than curing it.
Yeah.
And I just think that knowledge is freeing and knowledge is empowerment. So whatever I can do to share knowledge to help people become better people, that's just me. So that's what I do.
Yeah, perfect. I love it. So tell me about your journey prior to becoming a doctor. So were you always interested in this path? What did that look like, growing up? And I know the medical process to becoming a doctor is very long. So just let us know a bit about that.
So I am Ghanaian by heritage, but I was actually born in Lesotho. I don't know if you know where that is.
I don't.
So it's like a country surrounded by South Africa. So if you go on the map, there's South Africa, and then there's a little country inside of it. My dad was working as an accountant there.
Okay.
And we were fortunate enough to go to like a really good school. But on the way to school, we'll drive past like villages, and I would see like people in very like deprived conditions, like the typical Save the Children video where you see that really slim child with like a really big belly, that's like called kwashako. You'd see kids like that literally walking around. And I remember there was like one day we had to stop off at a gas station. I'm so American. Gas station, petrol station. I watch too much American TV. And there was like a van with doctors in it. It was like Doctors Without Borders, and they were like handing out medical supplies. And I was literally like 4, and I just remember saying, I don't know what they do, but I want to do that. Like, I want to help these people.
Yeah.
So I guess as I got older and I understood different career paths more, I was just like, oh, I feel like that's aligned with medicine, because I'm an academic. Like, my dad's always been big on education. There's one quote he even would tell me every day until his passing, actually, which is like, man can take everything away from you but your knowledge. So make sure you always pour into that. So I've always been academic, but I've always wanted to help people.
Yeah.
And I feel like medicine was the one career that allowed me to marry the two together. It was tough. It was tough though. Like, don't get me wrong. Just when you decide, you have to decide very early on into your life to become a doctor.
Okay.
So you need to be strategic about what GCSEs you pick. You need to make sure you're getting A's and A stars. Like, there's no time to mess around. Like, you're in this from when you're like 14, 15. And it was tough. It was like a very challenging process. Through that process, like, my mum had cancer. We were homeless. We had a lot of immigration issue. Yeah. The girl's been through it. Like, it's been a very tough time, but, and then when I actually got into uni to do medicine, they were like, girl, like, I know you've been here for 10 years, but you're not British. So you have to pay international, like, I had to pay international fees. My mum had to raise money. So I've always had a lot to prove, and life has always thrown me a lot of curveballs, but I just always remember that little girl who was 4 years old and was like, whatever they do, I want to do it. So whenever like life got tough, whenever I got rejections, when we were homeless for a few weeks, I just knew that I had to like make sure that little girl's dream came true. So that was like my journey into medicine. I've always had a love for people. Like, people energize me. Like, some people are draining, don't get me wrong. We'll talk about like wellness, emotions, emotional boundaries later on, but there's just something about other people that really energize me, and I like selflessly and genuinely love humans. So whatever I can do to help them either be happier or be healthier, that's just a bit of me.
Wow. That is such a, I can't even imagine. So at what age were you, at what point were you at when your mum was diagnosed with cancer?
So I was in year 10. So I was like 14.
Yeah.
14, 15. And it's so odd because me and her shared a room, basically, which I never used to admit at school. I used to be like, oh, this is my room. My mum sleeps in it sometimes. Yeah, because it's not cool, is it? And I just remember she came out of the shower one day and her left breast just didn't look normal. It looked like there was a lump there. The skin around it had changed. And I was just like, oh, I think you need to go to the GP. And she was like, you're not even a doctor yet. Like, what are you talking about? And I was like, no, mum, like, seriously, like, I don't know much about medicine yet, but I just know what's going on with you is not normal. Yeah. So we both went to the GP together. And then obviously after a few investigations, she was diagnosed with cancer. Okay. So I was just navigating that and my GCSEs. It was quite difficult, but we got through. Yeah. Yeah.
We thank God.
Thank God.
It's so interesting because my youngest is 6 and she has said for the last 2 or 3 years, I want to be a doctor. She's like, call me doctor. She got all the little doctor sets. Yeah. Oh, if I'm not well, oh, don't worry, mummy. I'll take care of you. I'll check you. And she will like check my heartbeat. But it's just so interesting to hear that, okay, that could really, so we've already identified it. We've said, oh, okay, imagine if she actually becomes a doctor. But hearing your journey starting at age 4, it's like, okay, wow, like I'm even thinking, okay, so when she gets to GCSE age, I'm going to have to really think about what she studies and things like that. That's so interesting.
Indeed. And you have to nurture that in her, you know, like just, I don't know, there's like museums around. I think there's like the Museum of like Human Anatomy. There's like a few like things you can do at home to really like nurture that inside of her. Because if she wants to be a doctor, it already tells me that she's someone that cares about people. She's a problem solver. She's an academic. So yeah, just do what you can to nurture it. My parents never forced me to be a doctor. They just worked really hard on trying to make me a good person. And I feel like that really helped my journey. Though even sometimes I'd be studying and I'd be like, oh, mummy, I'm stressed. She'd be like, no one asked you to be a doctor.
It was your choice.
No one actually forced you. It was your choice. So yeah.
Okay. So after, I guess, college, university, what does the pathway look like to becoming a doctor past that point?
So after college, you obviously have to do certain subjects, definitely like chemistry and another science or maths. And then you get into university and that's 6 years. That's like most of your 20s gone. Medical school is probably one of the hardest things I've ever done. It's just
Wow.
like, it's not ending. Like, you think you're smart until you go into medical school and you realize there are smarter people in the world. Like, everyone's quite competitive. Everyone wants to be the best. So then after that, you basically get through your exams, which are really tough, and you do something called your foundation training.
Okay.
So in your last year of medical school, you do certain exams. They rank you against people all over the UK and Northern Ireland. And based on what you score, they place you in like different hospitals around the UK.
Okay.
So you do your F1, F2, which is probably like, I would liken it to like a graduate entry role at like a firm.
Yeah.
And then after that, you apply for what type of specialty you want to be. So if you want to be a GP, like what I'm trying to do, or if you want to do obs and gynae or be a surgeon, like there's just so many different paths you go down.
What made you decide you wanted to be a GP?
So for so long, like I've always wanted to do obs and gynae, which is basically specialize in like women's health and like pregnancy.
Okay.
And I literally had my heart set in it. So like every volunteering program I did, every research paper I wrote was to do obs and gynae.
Okay.
And then 2 years ago, after getting married to my amazing husband, I just became really unwell. Like I had one of the worst flares of PCOS that even my GP at that time had ever seen.
Oh, wow.
I had suddenly gained weight. I was lethargic. I was anxious. I was depressed. I was like pre-diabetic. My bloods were all over the place. And I just went on a very crazy journey of trying to heal, trying to soothe my body, trying to live an anti-inflammatory lifestyle. And luckily, after 2 years, like we're getting there, we're getting to a good place. But I then realized one of two things. Number one, how unpredictable life is, because I was like a healthy young woman. I was supposed to be in my prime, literally going through like the happiest time in my life. And then my health suddenly changed. And number two, we as a society don't know enough about preventing disease. Like we only know about curing it.
Yeah.
And as of now, PCOS has no cure. People literally throw things at it, but a lot of what they throw at it is like putting a plaster on a wound. But no one really does the work as to like how to prevent it, how to understand it. So I was like, I think I can't do obs and gynae anymore.
Oh, wow.
I just think that doesn't align with who I am. I think the person I became at the other end of my health challenge was someone who wanted to be a health advocate, was someone who wanted to empower, was someone who wanted to give hope. Why? Because I felt hopeless. I felt disempowered during my journey. And for some reason, I've just always self-appointed myself as like the spokesperson for people.
Yeah.
So now I'm being the spokesperson for any woman, any man, just humans in general, like finding ways to prevent disease in them and to prevent mental health in them. And one of the best specialties that aligns with that is being a general practitioner, because you're working in the community, you're working on health prevention. Whereas someone is in hospital, I think it's a bit too late by then. Like the disease has, you know, wreaked havoc on your body. Whereas as a GP, you're meant to be educating people on ways in which they can prevent, you know, becoming more unwell.
And even if they are unwell, it's kind of early.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the early stage. So.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's really empowering, because some people would have a health challenge, think about how it affected them, and then continue once they're over it. Continue, but the fact that you took yourself outside of you and thought, okay, it's not just me, other people are experiencing this. How can I help other people based on my experience? That's not something that a lot of people have that mindset. So yeah, that's really interesting. Wow. Okay. So that situation changed the path, I guess, that you were on.
For sure. Changed everything. Everything.
So what have been the changes since then? Was it a case of you taking a different course or a different placement? What did that look like once you decided to make the change?
So once I decided to make the change, so after I finished my F1, F2, I took 2 years out of basically working as a doctor to like travel, work on my social media, just work on myself to heal, basically. And basically every August, there's like an application cycle that opens up for you to apply to certain specialties.
Okay.
So I knew that obs and gynae wouldn't work anymore, but I didn't want to let it go. So I did start the application for that. But I also started the application for GP. But I remember I was more motivated to finish off my application for GP.
Okay.
So it's simply just going online, logging in, applying for a certain exam. So that exam you do helps them to select you for both GP and obs and gynae. So it was just like a 2-in-1. And I remember the day before the obs and gynae deadline, application deadline was due. And I was just like, wow, like I have nothing left. Like I can't believe this is not what I want to do anymore. Because the me that I've always known has always said, yes, obs and gynae. Like my mum used to even joke with me, like, I bet one day you're going to end up as a GP. And I'd be like, what? I'd be so angry. No offense to GPs. I'd be like, no way. Like, babe, I'm trying to be. So just all those memories started flooding back. And I was just like, yeah, sometimes you need to let go of who you thought you were going to be and start embracing who you are now.
Ooh,
and I remember it was just
powerful.
so like empowering and freeing. And I was just like, yeah, nah, done. So then I literally exited the tab and I was just like, okay, who I thought I was going to be is gone now. Let me figure out who this new version of me is. And it's been a great journey since. Like, it's been fun.
Oh, I love it so much. Okay, so you mentioned online a few times. So when did you start documenting this journey, I guess, online? And what made you start?
What made it? Oh, that's a good question. So I actually asked ChatGPT this the other day, and it says I started my Instagram account in 2015.
Okay.
So I should have 1 million followers by now. What is happening?
What's happening?
But like, follow, comment, and subscribe. But yeah, so I started in 2015. So growing up, like, you can ask any of my friends this. When they'd come to my house, I had like the weirdest HP laptop. The webcam was fuzzy, but I'd always make us make videos.
Okay.
I don't know why. I don't know where that came from. I don't know who was going to watch the videos, but I've just always been big on like capturing moments and documenting. I'm very big on like sentiment, just looking back at good times and memories. And then it got to 2015. Instagram was obviously a thing. And I was just like, oh, like, let me jump on Instagram. It started off just purely with vanity and aesthetic. Like, if you look at my early pictures, it's just me in like Hyde Park and a crop top and jeans, just posing it out. But then after a while, I was just like, you know what? Let me share this journey. Only because I felt like when I was trying to get through the journey, I had no one being real and no one being honest. Like, people always show the outcome and the end product. They never show the process. Whereas like the most difficult but most rewarding part of life's journey is the process.
Yeah.
And people always think that, you know, to be a doctor, you need to look a certain way, sound a certain way. But I wanted to be the person that showed that no, like, you can be a young Black immigrant, like, you can be an orphan, you can be, you know, you can be the product of a first generation immigrant, but still become a doctor. So I was just like, as I said, I love appointing myself roles. I was like, I'm going to be the person that shows everyone that no matter where you come from, no matter what you do, you can achieve your dream. So then I just started documenting little parts of my journey. Didn't know anything about social media, but I've also been very interested in like the creative industry. Like, I love being creative, love taking pictures, videos, editing, just learning how to like storytell and entertain. So I was like, oh, let me just put them both together and share the journey.
So what was the feedback when you first started sharing, and what kinds of topics did you touch on initially?
So it was more like how to get into medical school,
Okay.
like what GCSEs and stuff you need to do, what A levels you need to do. And then as I was going through placement, I was teaching people what I was learning on placement. Like, so, hi guys, today I saw this like 50-year-old who presented with XYZ. If any of your parents have this, tell them to go to hospital, or did you know that X? So it was like, as I was learning about medicine and the body, I was also trying to educate people as well.
Yeah.
And the feedback was, it was mixed.
Okay.
So some people were like, oh, like, this is great, carry on. Like, hey, influencer. Like, you know, people just love to gas you. And then other people were like, can you just focus on your books? Like, what are you doing? Put the camera down. And my friend, like, you're a whole doctor. Focus on that. But I just found it funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. People always try and box you, isn't it?
They do. Yeah. So I've seen that on your page, you speak a lot about, you speak about various conditions, but a lot that pertain primarily towards Black people, Black females.
Yeah.
What are are there any common things that you found people that look like us face in terms of health challenges?
So this is just so timely. There has been a rise in the diagnosis of chronic health conditions in Black women that I'm seeing in my practice, my colleagues are seeing, and even now like research is showing. So Black women are being diagnosed with autoimmune conditions at an increasing rate. What is an autoimmune condition? It's basically where your body becomes a bit confused about self. Like, usually your immune system is there to fight anything foreign. Like, if you've got a cold, if you've got a urine infection, like all the bugs and bacteria that cause it, your immune system's like, this is not one of us. Like, we are going to fight it.
Yeah.
But sometimes what happens is your immune system starts to recognize things that are actually a part of you as foreign and start attacking that instead. So things like lupus, psoriasis, rheumatoid arthritis, they're on the rise in Black women because a lot of women's immune systems are becoming a bit more muddled and confused and are leading to conditions like this. We're getting a rise in things like breast cancer, cervical cancer, things like diabetes and high blood pressure, which for a long time we didn't know what the cause of it was. We thought, oh, could it be genetic? Could it be lifestyle? It's all of those things plus stress, plus chronic stress, plus living an inflammatory lifestyle, plus emotional silencing, which is why if you go on my social media now, I've done a slight pivot into wellness, basically, and like literally stressing the importance of looking after yourself, self-soothing, working on your emotional intelligence for women, because at the end of the day, I would say that like 80% of medical conditions are preventable. They're like lifestyle diseases. And in the same way that a certain lifestyle gives you those diseases, changes to that lifestyle can also prevent it or reverse those diseases. So like I'm on a campaign and a mission in order to remind people of the importance of wellness and, you know, making healthier choices in life.
Yeah. So with the autoimmune diseases, are a lot of those reversible, or is it once their bodies change, that's pretty much it, but the changes can, I guess, help them to adapt?
Yeah.
Is it more that in terms of...
So this answer could get me in trouble. It's a bit controversial. So are they reversible? I'm not sure.
Okay.
Like medically speaking, no. But there are some cases in which people have been able to reverse certain symptoms or no longer meet the criteria for being diagnosed with a certain condition.
Okay.
So as a doctor, I have to go by what the guidelines say and what my governing body recommend that we say. So no, at the point you develop the disease, unfortunately, you may have to be on things like steroid or medications to suppress your immune system. But there has been evidence of women living certain lifestyles and diets which have led to like them having no symptoms or like a dramatic reduction in it.
Yeah.
But I think what matters most is the cohort of women who are just on that edge of like, if you don't change your life now, like if you don't eat healthier now, if you don't work on your stress levels now, you are going to get there. And once you're there, it's even harder to get back.
Yeah. So is there any research at the moment as to why it's, on the rise within the Black community? Or is that still unknown?
So there are a few like psychological papers and there are a few like scientific papers that have been written recently. So a lot of the scientific papers have looked at women versus men, like being more at risk of developing autoimmune conditions. But a lot of psychological papers now are focusing more on Black women and the role of like emotional silencing and chronic stress, basically.
What's emotional silencing?
I've been waiting for you to ask me that.
Because you said it twice and I'm like,
yeah,
what's that?
it's literally because, so emotional silencing is basically your inability to express yourself or express your emotions. And it's like voluntary. So, keeping silent just to not look like an angry Black woman, or keeping silent because you want to keep the peace, or you not being allowed to set healthy boundaries because you have to respect your elders, or you being the oldest daughter, being forced to be a third parent, but actually you're still trying to figure life out. And it's like you can't even stand up to your parents.
Yeah.
It's just all those suppressed emotions, all those conversations that we're refusing to have. That's emotional silencing.
Wow. This is deep.
It is. Like, we thought we were going to come here and giggle. We should giggle there at some point. But yeah.
That's really deep. I mean, it's very layered then, because there's lifestyle, which is, I guess, what you eat, how much you move, sleep hygiene, all of those things. But when you're speaking about emotional silencing, that's a mindset. That's unlearning things that I'm assuming these women are late 20s, early 30s. This is years of living a certain way or of learned behavior. So how do you even navigate that? You've been told, okay, you've got this autoimmune disease. Firstly, are there steps? Are they told, okay, you need to work on this? Or is it something that they have to figure out for themselves? What does that look like for the woman?
So, unfortunately, being a doctor right now is just so difficult. It's a lot of service provision. You're probably understaffed and overworked. A lot of medical school, as I said, is heavily shaped on cure rather than prevention. So a lot of what I know about health prevention has been through research and doing extra courses. So it is quite variable. You do get some doctors who will be like, okay, for example, you've got lupus now. Here are things you shouldn't eat. Here is a certain lifestyle you shouldn't live. But I'd say they're the minority. But then you've got the majority who are like, okay, you've got lupus now. You need to be on steroids. And that's it. Like, you're left to fend on your own. And it's through your intentional research and conversations and joining certain communities that you find it out for yourself, basically. So unfortunately, there is a big disparity in the type of like healthcare that individuals are getting. It's like postcode lottery. It depends on, which GP you're at, which hospital you go to, whether you can afford private health or not. Like the private doctors, they have time. They actually have time. Like, you can go to your private GP and they'll give you a good 30 minutes. Whereas I've got 10 minutes. And a lot of the times, because it takes so long for people to see GPs, by the time a patient comes and sees you, you thought they come to you about their knee, but their eye hurts, their ear hurts, their nose is running, their back is breaking. Like, they've taken up 30 minutes and now you've got like 4 people waiting for you. So the next 4 people is like, sorry, we need to do this very quickly. So we just don't have the time, unfortunately, especially in like a professional setting or capacity. So a lot of it, unfortunately, for women, is just fending for themselves and figuring out what to do. Yeah.
So for either the woman that thankfully hasn't made it to that point yet, or is on the cusp that you mentioned, what are the lifestyle changes that, or just women in general, even just preventative, as you said, what kinds of lifestyle changes do you think
I can't really talk about lifestyle changes without talking about wellness, because as I said, wellness healed me, wellness cured me, and I'm just so grateful that I finally started like understanding my body and what I needed to do for it. So we'll go into wellness, and then based on like each dimension, I'll give women tips based on it.
Okay,
so
perfect.
wellness is basically the act of like practicing healthy habits on a daily habit, just so you have good like physical and mental outcomes. A lot of girlies think it's like drinking matcha, going to Pilates, but honey, no. There's so much more to wellness. There's actually 8 dimensions. There's like physical wellness, spiritual wellness, emotional wellness, environmental wellness, intellectual wellness, financial wellness. I always forget the last 2 as a coach. Come on, I should remember. But there's just different dimensions into it. So when you think of like physical wellness, this is where it's things pertaining to your body. It's ensuring that your body is functioning well for you to carry out your activities of daily living. So things like exercising, we need to be intentional about moving our body. So you don't necessarily have to go to the gym, but opting to walk instead of driving, going like swimming when you go out to meet up with your friends, instead of like always going for brunch. Maybe go on a hike, maybe walk through central London. Maybe
love a brunch.
I do love a brunch, but maybe do Pilates and then a brunch.
Yeah.
Maybe do yoga and then a brunch. Just find ways in order to move your body. Aim to get your heart going and beating at least like 3 to 4 times a week. So whether it's actually all gymming, walking, running, jogging, you need to be moving your body, because exercise is just a fantastic. We could do a whole separate episode about exercise. Then you think about foods. So there are certain foods that we call inflammatory foods. These are foods that trigger inflammation in your body. Dairy is a big one. I always say to people, cow's milk is for baby cows. It's not for humans. Like, why are we drinking the cow's milk?
I know.
That dairy is just so inflammatory. A lot of people that have autoimmune conditions, or even like things like asthma, hay fever, if your symptoms are really bad and they're not getting better despite your medication, cut out dairy, cut out gluten, and you see how much better you feel, because they have like certain particles in it which our body just becomes so inflamed by. It leads to the release of certain like hormones and chemicals that just put your body in like a really bad state.
At 16, I got diagnosed with IBS.
Yeah.
So that was the end of milk for me. But I'm not going to lie, I will definitely like partake in a mac and cheese now and then, a little bit of ice
Once
cream.
in a while.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, you have to enjoy certain things in life, but largely excluding it out of your diet is great. Making sure you're having like 30 grams of protein with each meal.
Okay.
Like, people go heavy on the carbs, but trust me, go heavy on the protein, because you will enjoy your meal, but also it helps you to build muscle, it helps you to lose weight. Also, supplementation. So for a lot of us, unfortunately, we don't have healthy diets or healthy balanced diets. Like, I'm here talking, but I don't always eat breakfast, which is so naughty. But because we don't have healthy balanced diet, it means a lot of the time we're not getting enough of the minerals and vitamins we need. This is where supplements come in.
Yeah.
So things like magnesium, zinc, vitamin D, B12, just supplementing your body with it either through foods or through tablets. Fantastic way to deal with it.
I have a question.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on intermittent fasting?
Oh, so intermittent fasting for short periods is really good. Like, it helps people lose weight. It helps people build discipline. But I think after a while, like when people are doing it for months to years, you need to think about what you're doing to your metabolism.
Okay.
Because your body adjusts very quickly. So what happens is when you drastically cut down the amount of food you're eating, or you close off your food window, your body then naturally gets into this rhythm and cycle. So it would be like, oh, I know food's not going to come till like 1 p.m. So what we're going to do is use all the reserves between like 6 a.m. and 1 p.m. When the food comes, we're going to store it somewhere. So when you're not eating again, we can then build those reserves and you go in a cycle. What then happens is that when you do start eating normally again, your body doesn't think to be like, oh, food's always coming, let me just keep burning it. It will just say, I'm just going to stay in that cycle of storing this food and energy.
Okay,
and then what happens? You gain weight. Because you slow down your metabolism, your body's chilling, it's preparing for hard times where you're like fasting. And yeah, people really like mess up their metabolism after that.
That's
So
so
for a short while, like if the waist needs to be snatched, or if you want to just go on a journey of building discipline, it's absolutely great. So maximum for like 6 months.
Okay.
Anything after that, just be careful. Yeah.
Okay.
Why do you do intermittent fasting?
I do. So I don't eat until 12 for the most part. If I'm out, then it can be later.
I hear it.
But no, that's interesting.
Has it helped? You look snatched, so girl.
Oh my God. Did you hear that? Well, thank you. I mean, I'm trying, because I struggle with the movement part.
Fair enough.
The time to get to the gym, it's on my goals.
I know.
But the food part is working for me. So thank you.
Yeah. But to be fair, even with like working out, get a walking pad. Go
I need to get a walking pad.
area.
Yeah.
Like instead of driving, walk, or like you've got kids.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they keep you busy. Like just play a game with them. I'm sure they'll have you running up and down the house.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, so just find ways to get extra movement. Or a lot of us, well, I don't, lucky for the people that do, work from home. For 5 minutes every hour, just get up, stretch, walk to your front door, walk up the stairs, like just move your body. Your body needs movement.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Let's get back to the wellness. You're giving us the tips.
So that's physical. And then we go into emotional wellness. So it's linked to what we're talking about with emotional silencing.
Yes. Yeah.
Emotional wellness is just the ability to like understand and process your emotions. It's about like setting boundaries, dealing with stress. So a big thing here is like journaling. Another big thing here is things like meditation and therapy. Like, we all need therapy.
Yeah.
We all really need a therapy. Being a Black woman, we have experienced certain levels of trauma and hardship that not a lot of people have, whether it's like institutionalized racism, whether it's colorism, whether it's overbearing parents, whether it's like dealing with the differences between the culture from your heritage, like where you are, like you're from the Caribbean, I'm from Africa. There are certain traumas that come with that, that we've all been suppressing, we've all been silenced about. But I think finding healthy outlets, because keeping in like suppressed anger and suppressed emotions can lead to a spike in your cortisol level, can lead to chronic stress. What does chronic stress do? Changes the way your body functions, can even change your DNA, and it's what's leading to conditions like cancer, hormonal imbalances, and certain diseases in women. So just finding a healthy outlet, making sure you're intentional about the type of friends that you have around you. So if you can't be honest with your friend about how you're feeling, like if you can't leave a conversation with your friend feeling heard, supported and loved, that's not real friendship.
Yeah.
And a lot of us are in friendship groups we shouldn't be in. A lot of us are in marriages we shouldn't be in. A lot of us are in family situations that are toxic, but we brave it all in the name of, but that's not healthy. That's making you sick. So emotional wellness is all about, learning how to process, deal with your emotions and set healthy boundaries.
Yeah.
So journaling, reading also gives you like the tools and the words that you can use in order to understand and process your emotions. So one book that I love is like Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Waltz. You guys should check it out. I love a cheeky read. That's really helped me to understand my emotions, and journaling's really good as well.
I love journaling. I used to always have like a diary.
Yeah.
Growing up, I've got so many. And then I went a few years without journaling at all. Got back into it at the end of last year. And oh my gosh, I'm just like writing up my emotions. I feel, and this person did this. Just let it all out.
I have a theory though. I had a theory that if humans knew how to do friendships properly, we wouldn't need therapists.
Okay. You said a lot. If we knew how to do friendships properly,
we wouldn't need therapists.
Expand on that. I mean, I felt it.
Yeah.
But I want you
it's
to,
deep.
yeah.
Even I need a minute to, deepen as well. I am learning with time and age what true friendship means. Like, your friend, the person that chooses to do friendship with you, is essentially doing life with you. Like in the same way that when you get married, you make like a covenant with your partner. I think that's what friendships are too. Like the person you choose to call your friend should be someone that allows you to be your unapologetic self. It should be someone that allows you to feel like heard, understood, loved, soothed, should be able to critique you, obviously, because sometimes people need to tell you about yourself, but from a place of love, you know, and selflessness. Whereas I think a lot of people are being very like strategic in the type of friendships they're building. Like we're in a very big like networking culture where people are developing friendships because of what they can get from it, or because people are not being really honest with their emotions. They're not like forthcoming with who they really are. And I think the foundation for a good friendship is honesty and truth, but unfortunately not a lot of us are. Like we're not even honest with ourselves, so how can we be honest with other people? So based on that criteria, until you learn how to, you know, work on yourself, build honesty, like work on your character and who you are, I don't think you can ever be a good friend. And because a lot of people don't work on themselves, you're not being a good friend because you're not learning to be a good person. Do you know what I mean? Like love, joy, support, it comes out of abundance. And if you're not working on your wellness wheels, if you're not pouring into yourself, then what are you giving? You're not giving abundance, because true friendship comes from an abundance of love. What are you giving?
She's saying all the things. No, this is so timely. I was listening to a podcast a couple of days ago. I'm trying to remember. I can't remember what the podcast was. They were talking about friendship, and they were talking about the rise in this sort of culture and notion that cut people off if they're not there for you. Cut people off. Oh, you don't need that friend. Cut them off. Cut this person off. It's a new year. Cut those people off. And it's like,
cut it.
basically, but it's like, okay, that person wasn't there for you, but how were you there for that person? How are you showing up for other people? There's a lot of focus on, oh, that person didn't come to my birthday, or I was sad and that person didn't call me. Okay, but when they were going through something, were they going through something at the time you had your celebration, or you were going through something? There's a lot of emphasis on the other person, and it's like that self-pleasing, self-satisfying. It's like, oh, okay, you're not satisfying me, so you need to go. And it's like, we do need to take stock of our own mindsets and what we are bringing to the table for other people. So that's so...
And also, even in that situation, are you a good enough friend for them to even have been honest about what they were going through? Do you know what I mean? Because you're there focused on, oh, you didn't come to my birthday. But maybe because the friend knew how you'd react, because you're very selfish, they didn't even feel comfortable to let you know that they're going through depression. So they just didn't turn up, and you proved them right by cutting them off. Just... it doesn't make sense. And that's what I mean. Friendship comes out of abundance, because if you are pouring into your emotional wellness, self-awareness is a very big thing in emotional wellness. So, maybe if we all start working on our wellness wheels, we won't need therapists anymore, because we'll have each other.
I mean, I think we should still have therapists, because there's a lot from like childhood.
That we need to unravel and process. We're still on like dimension 2 out of 8, by the way. Like this is deep. It's like a whole lifestyle change. So that's emotional wellness. Don't know if you want to talk about the other wellnesses.
I mean, I want to ask, what brought about your interest and passion in the wellness side of, because obviously being a doctor, it's all like, okay, not theory, but it's very logical. What made you think more about wellness in the first place? What brought that about? Was it when you had your
PCOS flare? So when I had my flare of PCOS, I just woke up one day. Well, it's more like it happened over like 2 weeks, and I'd suddenly like gained 15 kg. I was like always tired, like my mental health was really bad. And I went to go and see my GP. First, actually, I looked through my medical books, and PCOS. Oh, there's no cure. Just take the pill. No, I don't want to take the pill. Then I went to go see my GP, and she was like, what happened to you? I said, my friend, that is why I'm here. Like,
My gosh.
what did happen to me? And she was like, yeah, it sounds like it's your PCOS. I was like, I know this, babe. Like, remember, I'm one of you. And then she was like, there's not much we can do. And I said, what do you mean there's not? Like, I can't live like this. Like, I just got married. I'm trying to be in my prime.
She said no.
My honeymoon is around the corner. Like, I've already bought outfits. Like, they don't fit. What? I didn't even I couldn't fit into my wedding dress a week after my wedding.
Oh, wow.
That's how drastically it happened. Because all the stress from wedding, like family stuff, it was all a bit too much. So, yeah, like, I was just like, wow. So yeah, this is my life. I'm 15 kg heavier. I'm pre-diabetic. I'm 27. I'm married. I don't want my husband to touch me or look at me. I've stopped going out with my friends. I feel unworthy. I feel hopeless. Like, I remember there was even a stint where I started to even feel like suicidal, because it was just like the me I saw in my head, like who I'd be, and then who I was in that moment. There was like no congruence between that. There was like a big disparity. So then there was just one moment after like sulking for months that I just had to look back at what I'd been through, you know, like my becoming an orphan at that point, my journey through medical school. And I was just like, I've actually been through way too much for this condition to take me out. Like, this is not how I leave this earth. Do you know what I mean? And there's this like one quote that I heard, which basically was just like, oh, like, all you have is all you need. And sometimes like 80% of what you want is in the 20% you're not doing. So then I was thinking, what is the 20%? And the 20% are the things that we know we need to do, but we choose not to, or we don't make time for.
Yeah.
Being exercising more, eating healthier, therapy, doing that inner work, reading, being more intentional about, you know, who you speak to, the spaces you create, spirituality. And I was just like, I have done everything but the 20%. Like, I started Googling bariatric surgery services in Turkey. Like, I was ready to go get a gastric sleeve.
Yeah.
I was ready to buy a Ozempic. Like, I was ready to do everything, but I wasn't ready to change my lifestyle. So I said to myself, let me see. Like, I have nothing else to lose because I've lost everything. Like, I'm a bouncing baby girl now. I don't feel good. Like, life can't get any worse than this. Sorry.
Why do you...
Okay.
Sorry. Okay.
Life can't get any worse than this.
Yeah.
I had to like learn to love myself in that state. That's why I can laugh about it now. But I used to talk
at the
about
time
this
you weren't
again,
laughing.
I was not laughing. I was like, what is this? And I was like, let me do the 20%. Obviously started doing research, reading. Like, I'd always known about wellness. I'd always like wanted to look after myself.
Yeah.
But I was just like, okay, doing face masks and drinking matcha is actually not wellness. Like, let me be serious about what this is.
Yeah.
And the principles are so basic, but the results are so drastic.
Yeah.
And literally just making those little changes and tweaks changed everything. Like, I'm 14 kg lighter. I no longer meet the criteria for PCOS. Like, I'm back to being me, you know? And it's not the me I thought I would be. I feel like this is a better me. This is like a me that now feels like limitless. Like, I can do whatever I put my mind towards, because I was told by my doctor, there's nothing that can be done. I read from books that made me who I am today that there's nothing that can be done, but I did it. And what helped me? Wellness.
Yeah.
You know, being intentional.
Yeah.
Doing the 20%. So yeah, that's how my journey started, ended, and is still going, because I'm still pouring into my wellness. I'm still making those decisions every day.
I love it. I love it. Just a round of applause to you.
Thank you.
So, what is your... how do I phrase this? What is your, I'm just gonna say plan. It's not the best
Okay.
word, but what is your plan for your socials at the moment in terms of sharing? So you share a lot of education, a lot about wellness now. I saw that you did an event.
I did.
And I was so sad. I was like, okay, I didn't know this was happening.
Oh, sorry, babe. I'm doing another one on the 29th of March, but I'll do more. So I'll let you know so you can come.
So what's your plan like moving forward with that? Is it something you want to build? So I know GP not going anywhere.
Not going, stay.
But what is your plan for your personal brand, I guess I would say?
As a medfluencer.
Yeah.
I feel like I can't spill all the beans, but it's basically definitely, it's everything I'm doing, but at a like global scale.
Okay.
It's me being everywhere. It's me being on TV. It's me being on radio. It's me. I already have a community.
Yeah.
It's the community growing. It's hosting events and, you know, impacting women's lives all over the world. It's me working with government. It's me working with charities in order to spread this message of health and wellness in the most remotest parts of the world.
Yeah.
It's me fighting for women. It's me fighting for equality. It's just me advocating. I just know that I can't leave this planet Earth without having empowered people on ways in which to be healthier and happier. So anywhere there's a human, I need to be there. Like, I need to be on billboards, I need to be in TV, I need to be in radio, I need to be deep in your frontal cortex, just always reminding you, do the healthier thing, move your body, heal yourself, learn to speak. Like, I just want to be that voice for people. So that is the plan, without spilling too much. I'll tell you off camera.
Okay. Love that for me. I think we're going to have you back because time is going and there's still so much. And I want the rest of the wellness. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll do a part 2.
For sure. Let me know if you guys want me back.
They do. Changing gears slightly. You've touched on it already, but what does self-care mean to you?
Oh, what does self-care mean to me? Self-care to me means being intentional about choosing you first in all things. And sometimes understanding that choosing you may not always be convenient or may not always be pleasant or may go against how you're currently feeling. But self-care to me sounds like sticking to the plan and not your mood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. That's a good one. Okay, you've had a very stressful day. Some very stressful patients. You've got home. What's the first thing you're doing to relax?
Oh, so taking my wig off.
Okay.
So no, put my bag down, take my jacket off, ask my husband how his day is going. Go and make a cup of tea.
What we're drinking?
We are drinking peppermint tea.
Okay.
I love a peppermint tea. We are putting some candles on. In my living room. I've been so intentional about like creating such a like cute aesthetic space. Like my couches are like white basically, which is it's cute, it's pretty, but it's a nightmare to clean.
It's pre-children.
But it's pre-children, exactly.
Never.
So candles on, dimmed lights, listening to neo soul, or maybe like a Thames.
Okay.
And just 10 minutes of absolute silence and bliss.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
That's me.
I love that for you.
What does it look like for you?
Oh gosh. I'm saying, oh gosh, I've answered this like twice. People keep asking me. I'm like, guys. Mine is getting home and sitting down in silence before having a ginger tea. I have about 3 cups a day.
Okay.
It just does something to my insides. Yeah. And then like an evening of chilling.
Yes.
Netflix.
Yes.
Wine. specifically Asti. I like
Yeah.
a Asti at the moment.
I got introduced to Asti last month. It's great.
It's my, yeah.
It's very sweet. I love it.
And just chilling, just me, husband, TV, kids in bed, please.
Kids in bed for sure. Relaxation and kids, I don't know if they go in the same sentence.
They don't go together.
Oh.
No. So yeah, just a chill evening.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
You should do that tonight.
I will.
If you're not busy.
I will definitely do that.
Yes.
Thank you so much. This has been so good. No, there's a question I wanted to ask you before I ask you the last question.
Okay.
What has been your wildest experience as a GP so far? We didn't even touch on, being a GP.
What's been my wildest experience? So I had a patient who came in and was basically like his wife's poisoning him.
Oh.
And he thinks she's a spy because he found like 5 different passports with different names. And I was just like, it's either he's like having a mental breakdown or he's actually honest. But if he is, like, I don't want to get involved. Like, this is scary.
This is scary.
And like,
oh no,
it's so funny because like 5 minutes after, he was like, she's coming. And she actually like came through the door. And I was just like, okay, like as a doctor, you have to be the biggest actress in the world. Like you just have to pretend like, oh, hi, how are you? Like, thanks for joining.
Yeah.
And obviously the husband's looking at me and I'm looking at him and she's looking at us like, what are they talking about? So yeah, that was really crazy. But it ended up, I think, being true.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it became
and she
like
was poisoning him.
She was giving him high levels of certain things in his food. Because then when I was doing my hospital placement, it's like a full cycle moment.
That's
but
crazy.
That was crazy. I was just like, wow.
I'm so glad I asked.
Yeah, no,
and now I feel like
cool.
you have stories.
Yeah, I have lots of stories. I don't want to get in trouble though, but I've got stories.
But that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
okay. Interesting. I'm so glad I asked. Thank you so much for coming.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll definitely have a part 2. Before you go, is there anything you want to leave with the audience as a final takeaway or your mantra for life that you'd like to share?
My mantra for life, my new mantra for life, is to go where the love is.
Oh, I love it.
Going where the love is basically means being in spaces in which you feel loved, supported, appreciated, never having to question your value, never having to question your contribution. Going where the love is can sometimes be hard because it means leaving negativity or leaving an ideal that you had for so long. But when you are in love, you flourish, you're a better version of yourself. And you're just deserving of it. So in every situation, go where the love is, work where you feel loved, be friends with who you feel loved by, date people you feel loved by. If you ever have to question whether they love you or not, that's already your answer. They don't. And always choose love and choose to love yourself first and foremost.
That was just beautiful.
Thank you.
Perfect. I'm so happy.
Thank you. I'm happy
loved
to.
it.
Thanks for having me.
You're so welcome. This was so good.
Yes, it was really fun.
Please let everyone know where they can find you online.
So my Instagram and TikTok is Dr. Yaahima. So DrYaaOheema.
It'll be linked below.
Yes. So you can find me there. I reply to my DM. So yeah, let's get talking. I've also got a lot of events coming up. So let me know if you want to come. It would be so nice to meet you guys.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'm sure you've taken away so many gems, so many insights. It's been so powerful. Let us know what your key takeaway was in the comments below. We'd love to keep the conversation going there. Other than that, if you're not subscribed already, be sure to subscribe for more episodes. We upload every single Sunday. And also like, and yeah, all the things.
Like, comment, subscribe.
All of that. Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
But other than that, take care, stay blessed, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
Bye.
Your crown is your glory.